Welcome to the Birth Breakdown, a mini-sode series from Her Birth, Her Story. These short episodes are here to open conversations around pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. Things I believe every woman deserves to look into, to question, and just to feel empowered by. This isn't about telling you what to do or what's right and what's wrong. It's about giving you space to think, to learn, and to trust yourself a little bit more as you prepare for your birth. Let's break it down. On this episode of the Birth Breakdown, we are going to be diving into the first trimester. Last week, we did a very vague overview over the 3 trimesters of pregnancy. And so the next couple of weeks, we are going to be diving into each of the trimesters just so that as first-time moms or somebody who wants to be a mom or maybe somebody who wants to reclaim their next pregnancy, we are just going to dive into each trimester so that we can ask empowering questions, feel empowered, and hopefully have a little bit better understanding of what's going on during these trimesters. The first trimester is the beginning of pregnancy, and it's often the most invisible. It's so important to look into this stage because so much development and even so much emotional and physical change happens here, even when it doesn't really look like much on the outside. And I just feel like this is really important and very validating for moms that you get that positive pregnancy test, and then it's like you're just looking for your body to change on the outside. You're looking to look pregnant, or sometimes you don't even experience the symptoms until a couple weeks later. Sometimes you're experiencing it right from the beginning. Sometimes they get more intense. Sometimes they don't. A lot of times, unless you have told somebody that you're pregnant, they might not understand, why you're experiencing these symptoms. So it's just important to know that even though you might not look pregnant from the outside, there is so much amazing work and hard work that is going on in your body. During the first trimester, a lot of moms often feel unseen or confused or just be emotionally heavy because there's a lot of things that are going on. Some of those things are your body just laying a foundation, your placenta is forming, your baby's organs are beginning, their heartbeat starts during this trimester, and your hormones are just rapidly shifting because obviously it is trying to build up to sustain a life that you are growing and nurturing inside your body while still taking care of your needs as well. And a lot of common experiences that women have during this is exhaustion and nausea and aversions. Those are 2 of the most common symptoms that moms feel. Obviously, there are plenty more, and I would definitely look into those because every single symptom that you feel is important, but you're so exhausted because your energy is constantly being rerouted to grow a whole human. And also nausea and aversions. This is just a protective measure to help protect your baby, the life that you are forming. And it's crazy because your nausea and your aversions can come from not just eating something, it might be smelling something, it could even be touching something or visibly looking at something. Figuring out how to best support yourself with these 2 things and just all symptoms is so crucial. During the first trimester, some physical signals that you should really be paying attention to. Your pattern of fatigue is very, very crucial too. Like, let's look at what drains you versus what restores you. And a lot of times rest is just really crucial during this trimester too, just to help restore because you are so exhausted, but everybody's different. So really look into what drains you versus what restores you because your body is using a lot of energy to help build, create that foundation for your child to continue to grow. You should look at your nausea and what makes you feel nauseous and what makes you have those aversions, and pay attention to those. And unfortunately, some moms experience aversions and nausea their whole entire first trimester, and that is really tough. But just make sure that if you are one of those moms that are experiencing that, then make sure that you are still trying to figure out ways to get in the nutrients that are needed for your baby. Some other body cues, obviously, dizziness can be something that you can experience because your blood pressure is changing, your hormones are changing. We've already talked about nausea patterns too. Sometimes you might feel more sick in the morning. Sometimes you might have to eat right when you wake up. And then you might notice that once you eat right when you wake up, you kind of force yourself to do that. Then it helps your nausea kind of subside for the rest of the day. Everybody's different. Everybody experiences it differently. So definitely talk with your provider too on what things that you can do to really help alleviate that. Some people have extreme nausea and extreme sickness to where medicine is the best route, just so that if they're taking that medicine, then they can at least keep food down to help with the nutritional side of things. For me, ginger chews were actually a very big thing that helped me. Anytime that I got nauseous and I ate one of those, it went away for me. But a lot of times my nausea came from needing to eat. Sometimes you have to change when you eat too. You might not be able to eat big meals. You might have to eat small, frequent meals throughout the day, and also staying hydrated. So, look into that. And don't be surprised if you have some digestive changes. A lot of moms actually experience constipation during this time, but just remember too, your body is communicating constantly, and this is definitely a season to make sure that we listen to our body. Obviously, we still have obligations that we have to do, but it's still important to honor your body, honor yourself, and rest when you can and support it when you can. We talked about the physical shifts throughout this trimester, but now let's talk a little bit about the emotional and mental shifts. I just want to validate you during this time because there are a lot of emotions, and a lot of times we just think that the only thing that we're going to experience is joy, especially if is an expected pregnancy. We just experience joy, everything's sunshine and rainbows, and obviously that could be the case, but a lot of times we are experiencing joy while also experiencing fear at the same exact time, because we are so excited about obviously having another child. But the problem is we also have a lot of fear because we don't know what to expect. Maybe this is our first one, or we don't want to do anything that's going to hurt our baby. So there's often a lot of anxiety that is mixed in, even with pregnancies that we expect. There's a lot of emotional sensitivity, or you might even be a person that's more of withdrawal. And so then you try to isolate yourself because of all of the things that you're experiencing. Some things that we should definitely look into from the emotional and mental side of this is what increases your peace versus what increases your anxiety. And obviously, this is a no-brainer, but try to stay away from the things that bring you that anxiety, because stress is never good in a pregnancy. Stress is never good, really, ever, but you want to do the things that bring you peace. And that might just mean some small changes. It might mean not doom scrolling on your phone and instead reading a book, getting outside, reading your Bible, praying, doing a journal, whatever that might be. See what increases your peace. Make sure that you are just consuming enough information that feels supportive to you, not just overwhelming yourself with information. That leads me into the next thing. You want to make sure that you find somebody who feels safe to talk to during this trimester, somebody who's going to support you. They're going to listen. They're going to offer up advice if you want it, and they just help make you feel safe. During this time, you want support and care, awareness. If you remember to last week's episode, we had touched on how not really a lot of things happen during the first trimester on the medical side of things. This might be different for high-risk moms. So during this time, there's no rush, but you should start to kind of look into, if you haven't already, what kind of care do you want to have during your pregnancy? That might mean that you want to take a hospital approach with an OB. You might want a midwife, maybe a midwife in a hospital or maybe a home birth. Or you might want a hybrid of the in-between, which might be a birth center. So this is a great time, obviously not to stress yourself out, but to just look which option is going to help me feel best supported, which option helps me to feel more aligned to the birth that I am envisioning right now. What kind of questions am I going to have for them during this time? From a medical standpoint, there's not a lot of medical things that are happening. It's more of a waiting game. Your first appointment happens between 8 weeks and even sometimes 12 weeks, because sometimes people will go and get an ultrasound just confirming they're pregnant, and some people honestly just skip that until their 20-week ultrasound. It just kind of depends on what care is best for you. So during this time, they're going to probably take your labs so they can check your iron, check your hormone levels too, to ensure that everything is tracking in the right direction. And once again, there is no rush. Really just soak in this first trimester through the joy and the tough reality of those symptoms sometimes, because I know that it can be hard, but just know you're doing a great job. This trimester is often a quiet becoming. You may not look pregnant, but you're already so changed in the season of motherhood, and you just don't even know it yet. You're enduring a lot of things, but your body is creating and housing and building a miraculous being inside of you. Some other really important things to look into, and these aren't things that you can just Google. These aren't things that you can just read a book about, but really evaluate this from your own heart. What does slowing down look like for you? So that you can rest, so that you can build this human, so that you can take care of yourself. What does slowing down look like? What expectations do you have? What kind of things can help you feel empowered? Where might grace be needed in this first trimester for yourself, for your family, your growing family? And don't forget that it is okay to ask for help. You do not have to be overwhelmed with all of the pressures of the day. Really look into how can you really best support yourself. Ask for help. Ask your partner, your husband, to help you during this time. Reach out to that trusted person to help you feel empowered, because you are doing something that is miraculous. So if all you did during the first trimester was just survive, just know that was enough. You are doing something that is so miraculous. And I just want to encourage you that during this first trimester, it is hard. There are so many emotions. You are doing so much under the surface that you don't even realize. But it is so crucial, because the foundation of your baby is being laid. The foundation of your motherhood is being laid in this first trimester. And I just love that us as women are able to do this. And even though there are times that are so hard, it is such a rewarding thing to be able to carry life and bring it forth. This season isn't about control. It's about awareness and knowing how to best support your body and your baby during this season. That's all for today's birth breakdown. If this episode sparked curiosity, affirmed something you've been feeling, or gave you a new perspective, I'd love for you to share it with another mom or mom-to-be who might need it. Make sure you're following Her Birth, Her Story, and if you feel called, leaving a review is one of the best ways to support this space, and it helps these conversations reach more women. Until next time, remember, this is your body, your baby, and your story. We are reclaiming birth one story at a time.